There are 1,366 members of the New York Stock Exchange, 44 of which are women, and I'm one of those.
Where did the idea for this project come from?
The project initiated when I met a woman named Louise Jones. Louise works on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. She inspired me, and it became a personal mission to tell her story.
Is it safe to say that Louise maybe isn't the type of woman who grew up playing with Barbies? 1,000 different Barbies, but there's no Wall Street Barbie.
There is a film festival Barbie, though.
There is a film festival Barbie?
There's a film festival Barbie.
Are you kidding me?
No.
A friend of ours daughter has it.
There's a film
It has a
festival
little
Barbie.
pass and everything.
Louise's story is truly phenomenal. She grew up in the housing projects of Staten Island. She talked her way into her first job when she was 17 on the floor. She never left.
I always visualized myself working on Wall Street. I wanted to be important, and I thought that was so important. You know, it's just always something that intrigued me.
She found out she was adopted. She was an abandoned baby left on the corner of 88th and Columbus in Manhattan in a phone booth.
Wow, that's an amazing story.
Louise is one of the smartest brokers that I deal with every single day. She pays attention, she listens, and she makes a decision.
They wouldn't call themselves feminists, but they're blazing a trail, basically. They're opening doors for women that come behind them.
What were some of the challenges you faced in making film?
I think one of the largest challenges was access to the big firms. We were making a film about positive female role models and the real challenges they face and the real issues that confront them on a day-to-day basis. We chose very carefully the 4 women in our film, and we told their stories.
Regional festivals like Denver can be a great place to see stories that convey the local color, like this next movie, which could have only come from Colorado.
My film is Chick Flick, The Miracle Mike Story, and it tells the story of Mike the Headless Chicken. It's actually a real chicken, lived in 1945 in Florida, Colorado, got his head chopped off, and lives on for 18 months without a head.
You know, not a lot of chick flicks contain beheadings.
No.
Mike, the Headless Chicken. Mike, the Headless Chicken. Mike, the Headless Chicken.
The tagline we use for our movie, Chick Flick, is where horror meets comedy in a dark alley. The scientific explanation, if there is one, is that part of the brainstem was left.
I'm just curious how you went about doing the research.
Well, you know, we started with the town of Florida, Colorado. This is where they have the Mike the Headless Chicken Days every May. It's a 2-day celebration of Mike the Headless Chicken. I mean, they have a statue of Mike in town. Yeah, I mean, that's how big Mike is in Florida, Colorado.
Why is it that you think that people revere Mike so?
In a sense, it's like a Frankenstein story. You know, here's this chicken that defies death. And wouldn't we all, you know, want to defy death? As some people say in the movie, you know, Mike is a fair rendition of the American dream. And I think it raises some really interesting questions about, you know, the nature of fame and mythology in popular culture. I think people need comedy.
What do you think the role of the film critic is?
What a critic does is try to match the right films with the right audience.
They have to review some trashy movie, and then they have to review some good, very good movie. I think that that's an awesome responsibility that they have.
Do you read your reviews?
Yes, my confidence soars and then plummets based on what one anonymous person somewhere in the world has to say about my movie.
I make little movies, you know, they need all the help they can get.
I don't read them.
I've read just heinous reviews of me, and it didn't hurt my feelings.
To me, it's really important to you know, find out what do they think about what I've done.
There appeared a breathtaking new phenomenon in entertainment, Cinerama.
Next, I became a student of film history when I learned all about the widescreen technology called Cinerama.
It was a phenomenon at its time. It was sort of the IMAX of its day. And it was incredibly, wildly popular all through the 1950s, to the point where several of the titles are box office hits of the year. So it's kind of a surprise historical lesson in a way.
We did it through a specially redimensioned letterbox that we call Smilebox, that slightly stretches and condenses the 3 panels to replicate what a curved-screened viewing experience would be. So the secret of our film, of our Smilebox, is the secret of Cinerama. which is to concentrate your vision on the center panel and allow the side panels to become your peripheral vision. And we've been to other festivals where a lot of the people seeing Cinerama Adventure are baby boomers who it relives their childhood.
And I actually met some of those baby boomers waiting in line.
We don't know anything about this particular movie, but when we were younger, we did see some of the Cinerama movies, and we're looking forward to revisiting part of our past.
It wasn't a fad, but most historians categorize it as a fad. It was what you'd call a phenomenon. It lasted a lot longer than hula hoops did.
What do you think of rating systems like 4 stars, thumbs up, thumbs down, A, B, C, D, E, F?
It depends on if you're getting 4 stars and a thumbs up, then all of a sudden it's good.
Thumbs up or down or number of stars does strike me as particularly stupid.
As long as we have 4 stars, an A, and a good review, I love the critics.
People think that schizophrenia means split personality or multiple personality, but they're making a big mistake. The schizo prefix doesn't mean personality split. It means a break with reality.
Tell me, what's it like to actually be both the director and the subject of a documentary? That's something that you almost never see.
It made me really focus on my life. You know, it was just me. It was very intimate. It was just me and the camera. I was alone, usually.
The doctor said I had refractory schizophrenia, which means no treatment fully worked. Then a new drug came out, Clozaril, and slowly it started helping. But it causes weight gain, and I gained over 100 pounds.
What do you hope audiences get out of the film?
In real life, people with schizophrenia commit the same amount of violence as the normal average population, yet in the media, it's 70% of portrayals of schizophrenia are violent.
You see the extremes, like the homeless people, but that's only like maybe 5% of the people who have mental illness. 1 out of every 100 people have schizophrenia. And if you think about that, that's a huge number of people.
I can't trust my own perceptions. The hardest struggle is to know what's real and what's not real. And that's a daily struggle for me.
This illness is just like any other chronic illness. It's something you have to deal with, and the transformation and overcoming what obstacles are in your life actually is possible, even when you have something as horrific as schizophrenia.